We should be live.
It feels so breathy.
Huh?
As
Yes,
opposed to
I
not being
also
alive.
love all of this air.
Nom nom.
Wow, we're really exciting.
Can you believe air? I
This
can't.
is why the peoples watch us.
Canned air.
This is false. This is 100% false. Anywho,
Hi, everyone. All right. I'm ready to start the session whenever you guys are.
I was just about to go into a spiel about how great. If you're, it's so important to start things.
let's play.
Yeah, well. Yeah. Just say yes.
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. So, when last we left, you guys had escaped a very, very dangerous situation by throwing a lot of money at it. Quite successfully.
All right.
And-
It's okay if I stop you for a moment?
Sure.
Shouldn't we show off, if we have any art, shouldn't we show off that art and then let people know what's happened to Dave?
Well,
yes.
I guess
though
we usually don't
typically
do art.
do that for
Oh,
three
we don't?
galaxies.
No, not
Oh,
for
well,
free.
whatever. I'm still in risk mode. But maybe we should explain why
Yes.
Lucas isn't. No, wait, Lucas is here. Why Lucas isn't here? I killed him.
Xavier killed him.
Televac. In case
We
people are wondering.
figured that one wasn't important enough to be on screen. Xavier killing Lucas. Yes. So it is important to note. Unfortunately, we've been doing this for almost a year now. But life events change and free times, etc., etc. Unfortunately, Dave will no longer be free when we do 3 Galaxy streams. So he is kind of changing roles a little bit. He won't be a player anymore simply because he won't be available on a regular basis on Wednesday nights. But he's going to step a little bit behind the camera, and he's going to help me a little bit with GMing, because we still want him to be involved. So he's going to be, my idea man. I can throw ideas off him. He can make some NPCs. So some of the content you guys will see will be from him, and it'll be a bit more behind the screens role. So that's that. We love David and we wish him well, and of course, we'll be in constant contact with him. But yeah, that's that. That's the thing.
I really love David, and see, my real name is David, so you don't know if I'm being sweet or if I'm being narcissistic and weird.
Or
Let
both.
you decide. Shut up.
Dun, dun, dun. All right. So with that out of the way, yes. Sorry. Summary time. So yes, you guys got out of a very dangerous situation by buying off the Rose and their leader Petal, who led you back to the ship. You parted ways with Father Vine and the other adventurers who had basically sworn a vow to bring righteous hell upon the vampires, and then went off their own direction. You and Indigo and Cyber 6 got aboard the Second Chance and escaped Center, and are currently hiding out amongst the planet of Center, debating your next step. You do know that if you want to go after Simmons, the first step to that is to get an AAG, which will allow you to travel through a wormhole back to Cyber's own time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much where we left off. I mean, you're really kind of in a huge crossroads here. You can do that. You've also got vampires to deal with on Center. You've got sploogies that want your throats. Lots of things to do.
You're saying... Never mind, I don't want to... I was going to make some joke about sploogie and throat, and I'm too tired, I don't care.
No, but I do see the potential there.
Yeah,
I
there's
appreciate the
potential. There's like, you gotta be careful that sploogie doesn't hit the back of your throat or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so we've been talking over the week. And the big risk is we're wanted. our faces are known, and very few of the crew are able to change their appearance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, directly involving ourselves is far too risky in trying to get this AEG item, right? So we're thinking we're hiring like someone else to do it for us. And if we're going to hire someone else to do it for us, why not hire a professional? Now, Talavac is a thief with a certain degree of success. But once again, how are we going to disguise him, right? And if he gets caught, he's fucked, right? And we know Talavac. We like Talavac. If some professional thief gets caught and killed, well, that was, professional hazard, right? So that is what Xavier is going to pitch. We don't necessarily have to do that, but in my opinion, that's the best option we got. Able to distance ourselves from it while still having a reasonable chance of retrieving the device. Obviously, it's going to cost us some cash, but hey, when you spend $50 million on mercs not killing you, what's another couple million?
It's true.
True. I have a few questions for you pertaining to this plan of yours. Question number one. Are you hiring a thief to steal an AAG, or are you hiring someone to buy an AAG? Because those are two very different things.
I reckon AEG is extremely expensive. So, does Cyber 6 know how much it's going for in the market?
No, he will let you know that this technology has been sold among the Splagorth before, but no one that he knows what a market value for it would be. They're very rare. That's
very
assuming
means very expensive. So
Well,
I'm going to go with steel.
He will also say that, of course, that also assumes that whoever has it even knows what it is, because it just looks like a box with some knobs on it. So, right?
Xavier doesn't like the Splagorth, but he likes to think they're smart enough to know what things are in order to sell them. You don't run an
Yes.
entire area of fucking center when you're just like, oh, I don't know what this mark is. Yeah, 3 credits.
That is true.
2 credits and no higher.
2 credits and an
I
ice
suggest-
cream.
I suggest we hire a professional thief, and I think the best way we can get in contact one is the fellow who manufactured and sold those little fake IDs of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Which means, though, we're going to have to get back to center somehow.
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be step one. Okay.
Step
I
one
get
is getting back into center. Sure.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, because we don't know if our ship has been marked yet or not. We have to assume it has been. If at the very least, due to Hart's antics and not doing proper docking procedures, I'm sure there's recordings and people talking about this big blue unicorn Pegasus ship that picked out people who were in a real big hurry.
Mm-hmm. That is
very
true.
So,
Mhm. No, I'd much rather you guys throw ideas out there before I do anything as a GM.
So we're gonna have to hire a shuttle or something to come pick us up.
Hmm?
I have an idea.
Okay.
Okay. My suggestion is this. Me and Cyber 6 go outside the ship in some body armor. We walk a couple miles away, 3, 4, 5 miles away. And then we start radio saying that we were stranded and we need someone to pick us up. I would suggest Lucas come with us too, but I know how much magic it takes for him to sustain his disguise, and this might be a long-term thing, right? Cyber 6, you don't know what Cyber 6 looks like. Me, my face has changed like that, right?
Mhm.
So then they come pick us up, or we radio, we just throw our beam or a distress signal, or we can even take the distress beacon from our ship, take it with us, right? So we have a more powerful beacon and have someone pick us up.
I do have an idea as well.
I will, of course, I'll remind you guys as players, because your players would know this. It is technically illegal to be anywhere that's not center. In other words, your ship is doing something that is considered illegal now by the Prometheans. It's just kind of one of those, if you don't make a
Right.
ruckus, no one really does anything. about it.
Xavier's
But it is-
okay with he's okay with some legalities. He knows mostly CCR stuff.
Mhm.
But now, are we talking about illegal we kill you or illegal we fine you?
Roll me, everyone who can, a galactic lore check dealing with the. Basically, it's going to be dealing with the Prometheans.
Hey, I have
so
that.
No,
All right.
no penalties or anything. Just because the Prometheans are a fairly secretive bunch.
I don't have that.
I succeed.
I'm going to put a self penalty on this because Lucas, of course, hears about things, but I'm not quite sure if he really. He might have tuned out when it ever comes to legal issues. Or that's supposed to be a plus 20, excuse me.
Okay.
So I still
So
succeeded.
56 and 57.
Yeah.
You still succeed?
Yep.
Okay. Both of you have heard enough about the Prometheans to know this. The Prometheans, given that their planet is the hub of most of the trade in the three galaxies, and the planet themselves is, they've gone through great pains and great efforts to shut off the outside world from their indigenous home. They tend to look the other way until you become noticeable, i.e., you have made the news, or other people are talking about you or know about you or see you. And if you become public, i.e., there's a ship that left center and hid somewhere on center, this planet, they tend to make examples of it to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Well, fuck.
No. It's fine, Xavier says, very coolly. But, you know what they can't punish? People who are stranded because they had to eject out of their ship due to a capsule, an ejection capsule or something like that. Does our ship have, like, a life raft, so to
Escape
speak?
pods?
We
Escape pods?
we have
They
2 escape pods.
So it's simple. We fly up again. Cyber 6 and I jettison, get in a life pod. You jettison it. Boom. Perfect escape. We can say there was some violent drama on our ship and we had to get out to save our lives. And someone will come and get us. And sure, our escape pod didn't land directly on center. Are they really going to be that pissed off about it? I doubt it. I'm sure it happens from time to time. So there we go. And it's going to be me and Cyber 6, so they're not going to know. We're wanted. We're not high-profile people. We're just a couple of schmucks who had to jettison and get off our ship quick.
Sure.
There you go. Bada boom, bada bing.
All right. Now, where is the ship going to be during this time?
Well, we're going to have to go up. We're going to have the ship take off a little bit. Jettison, fly, I don't know, 50 miles to a direction. Life pod goes out, and then someone I'm assuming wait a second. Who else can pilot this thing? Hart, kind of.
Heart, kind of, but you're the only one that's qualified to fly it.
Well, whatever.
I will say,
this.
also giving you guys more information that the players would know. Above center in orbit are at least a dozen different space stations. And because space traffic up above center is almost as busy and populated as on center. And then, of course, you have those gates that travel one way.
Okay. How big is a capsule?
Capsule? Oh, you mean escape pod?
Escape pod. Yeah, life capsule, whatever. Yeah.
It can fit 6 people if they it has seats for 6 people, and it has enough rations in it to last about a week.
Is it can Cyber 6 pick up and or drag this thing?
No.
Why not? He's a robot.
Yeah, but this thing's heavy. Why don't we just go to one of the orbiting space stations and try our luck?
Try our luck with the what? That they won't find us and kill us?
Well,
we are wanted men.
I understand that, but we need our ship close by somewhere. We can't land in center. What else can we do?
You guys, okay, I'm not going to make you roll another galactic lore check. You've already kind of, well, actually, no. If you could, roll me one, because this is a very different thing. This is dealing with the space station himself. If you guys could roll me, there you go.
Succeed by
Yes,
more.
succeed.
Lucas knows.
Wow. Okay. Xavier, it's not hard to know why he would know this. Lucas, God knows why he knows what he knows. Of the dozen or so space stations, there is one in particular that has a seedy reputation. It is not listed on the books as an actual trade station. It is a rundown station hidden among the mess that is typically a place where the pirates, thieves go to trade in the black market into centers. So basically, I'm not describing this right. It is a front. It is a front station that acts as a cruise liner station. Like they supposedly have cruise lines that go to and from it to see beautiful places in the galaxy. In reality, it is a smuggling station to front black market items to center. And it is known to have discreet docking if you have the right money and speak to the right people, because there are lots of famous pirates out there that need to do business.
Yeah, as a smuggler, I totally would know this. All right, sweet. And I succeeded, so it all works. All right, then let's just go to that. Let's go to the pirate station.
That sounds good.
Boom. Maybe we'll find this sneaky friggin' asshole up there. We don't have to even go into center.
That would be fantastic.
We might find some friends, some old pirate friends.
Cyber 6 says, are you able to contact your friend down there? Maybe he knows someone? Perhaps
Maybe.
Do you have a radio or extranet
Contact? Do I, God?
Yes, you do. Because he likes the idea that you're a repeat business.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Not only that, though, I know a certain fellow named Amston the Shark who works for Black Metal Works, who already has quite a reputation of being a bloodthirsty pirate. I think I'll use his face.
It brings back memories of you guys in suits.
Yeah.
And getting space whores?
Yeah. All right. You want to try and contact your friend?
Wait. I can do that from the ship?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, basically, it's like using the interwebs. You send him
I'm
an
going to be
email.
honest with you.
Mhm.
I'd be a lot more comfortable if we tried to contact him when we're up in the station where we can discreetly dock, because any signals that are coming from our ship, I have a feeling could probably be traced.
That is
Yep.
that is a wise precaution to take.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you can very easily power the ship out of the canyon and up into orbit. The interesting thing about center is there's no one place that you enter and exit orbit. They kind of expect you to follow guidelines of don't landing on center, but the traffic is so vast that if they tried to make space lanes, there'd be traffic jams for hours. So basically, you just enter and exit wherever you will. Just they trust everyone knows where they're supposed to go. So exiting the planet's atmosphere is not a difficult task. Could somebody roll me D100, please?
23.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. You have very little trouble finding the space station that you're referring to. The official name, in case you need it for your records, is Galaxy Cruise Station. Galaxy Cruise Station. And as I said before, it is a front for the black market, but it's a legitimate business, is hiring out cruise liners. Imagine taking a Caribbean cruise for 5 days, but instead it's around like a giant black hole or a neutron star. You know, like some crazy thing that you can float out to see and float
Sounds
back
romantic.
Yeah.
Baby, our love is so bright it will burn out and become a black hole. Marry me.
Or white dwarf, which is basically a diamond the size of Earth. That's romantic.
Are white dwarfs practically diamonds, like carbon?
White dwarves are massively compressed carbon and heat, which is basically a diamond. And they're all about the size of Earth.
That's cool.
Now, you good luck getting to it and putting it on a necklace. But the thought. So you get to Galaxy Cruise Lines, and you rolled really well. Both of you rolled really well on your galactic lore checks. So you know that there is a specific frequency that is highly guarded, but Lucas and Xavier, through again, pretty understandable why Xavier knows it. Lucas, I mean, you're a wild man.
Where do you think I get my drugs from?
That's right. You use cocaine.
Oh my god, that's right. You have a ton of drugs.
You know that there is a specific code to reach the lower docking bays and negotiate docking fees.
I just
Oh.
want to say for the record, Lucas doesn't make much sense just as a character until you realize he has a fucking ton of cocaine. Then everything makes sense.
Yeah.
Everything makes sense.
Oh, we're going here. I'll go talk to my friend. His name is Paco. Oh god. Anyways.
All right. So you know the radio frequency to contact the lower docking bays to negotiate docking.
Excellent. I will gladly begin negotiations.
Okay. You will obviously trigger on the radio, and after a few moments, you hear, "Yeah, what do you want?"
A place to dock.
I'm sorry, my friend. You must have gotten the wrong channel.
I don't worry, my friend. I most certainly I did not. I understand this is for VIPs, and we put the P in VIP. Just name a price and tell us where to dock, and we can help you out.
Ah, I see. All right. Well, we do have some docking spaces open. How discreet is your visit?
Super ultra discreet, please.
There's
The
a pause.
chocolatey kind.
I see. That's certainly available, and you've come to the right place. Please transmit specifications of your ship, and we'll be able to find a proper landing bay and negotiate a fee.
Delightful. Sending requested schematics now. Beep boop beep.
After a few moments, there's another comm on the radio. I see. There is another slider that is all over the news right now. I'm sure a unfortunate.
We have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, the radio says, "I'm sure it's an unfortunate coincidence that yours happens to resemble theirs. Thus, the discreetness, I assume."
Poor sliders get the worst reputation. All we want to do is to visit and have a nice drink, and now we have to worry about this hassle.
Ain't that
Isn't it just a shame?
It is. But, my friend, indeed, for a low price of 200,000 credits, we have a docking bay just for you with no eyes nor ears, only robotic crewmen to tend to your ship's needs, to refuel if necessary, and to conduct business for as long as you need, as long as that is no more than 3 days.
Oh, it certainly will not be more than 3 days. Just one follow-up question. How often are the memory banks of your robotic workers wiped?
There's a chuckle. What memory banks?
Okay, transferring 200,000 credits as we speak.
The 200 credits transfer over, and he says,
No, it didn't transfer over. Did I
Oh.
beep or boop?
"No, you did not."
Boop, boop. Beep, beep, boop, boop, beep, boop. Now it's transferred. Thank you, GM. I'm a
have-
high maintenance player, everyone.
I have
Seems the credits
deducted the
didn't go
200
through. No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Boop, beep, boop, boop, boop. Meep, meep. And this is when
Oh,
people
no,
turn off
it's
the
stuck.
podcast. They're like, oh, Jesus Christ. This guy's not going to stop making noises in my ear.
After the credit transfer is complete, you're directed to a docking bay 67, and you're given, of course, directions to it. You find that docking bay 67 is a mess. I mean, it
Sweet.
is perfectly
A hot mess?
serviceable.
A hot mess?
Yeah, it's perfectly serviceable as a docking bay. If you are fine landing the ship on, fallen over steel rebar and things like that, roll me a piloting check if you would, please.
Yay! Okay. I like rolling skill checks. I just like rolling dice, period.
Wow.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
I've heard about this. I've heard about this.
Despite this place looking like it got hit by a tornado, you are able to fit the ship among the rebel to such a good degree that to a passerby, it'd almost be hard to tell if the ship was there first or the mess was there first.
Oh, blending in with the mess. Perfect.
So you land the ship. It is true to the word. You can see outside the windows there are several robotic units going about their business. Most of them seem to be sweeping the floor. However, and perhaps this is due to a lack of extensive memory banks, they aren't seeming to do a very good job of it.
See.
In fact, you see one robot that is trying to push broom a steel rebar, and it is going nowhere.
Okay. Now I understand why there's no memory banks. You get what you pay for. Anyways, after the ship is powered off, Xavier will get up from the pilot chair and meet with the rest of his companions, including Cyber 6 and Indigo. And he'll say, now, we have about 3 days here, and we've transferred over some money, so we should be fine. Things are very discreet. However, what the individual over the radio mentioned is that, well, wouldn't you know it, there's a slider that's high profile on the news, and it probably wouldn't be us, and lots of innuendo and that sort of garbage. Now, I think all of us, since we have to decide what we're going to need to do, it should participate in this. Cyber 6 and Indigo, they're not wanted by the Course, they're fine. And as you can see, as I'm speaking, my face is currently shifting into Amston the Shark, which I'm sure is very distressing, but hey, don't worry. The kinks will melt out in just a moment. The only thing, Lucas, I know you have a little bit of magic behind you. So, because you were Ambassador Bush for quite some time.
Mhm.
But, sorry, Lucas. But Isaac, I'm afraid in order for you to come with us, there's one thing you're going to have to do. And Xavier's going to go into his room and take out his ninja mask and hand it over to Isaac.
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
Boom! I mean, it's probably not the strangest thing, but we just want to make sure people don't see your features. Also, if I may also suggest, is maybe not the hat or the coat. Any discernible, fashionable things might allow a keen person to put two and two together. I'm not worried about people ratting us out. I'm worried that amongst these thieves, cutthroats, and ne'er-do-wells, they'll fucking blackmail us.
Yeah. What I can do is I have a vibro katana, and I can just bring that along and maybe complete the outfit and also have a weapon.
Yeah, just one pistol maybe instead of 8. I'll have one and we'll all be good. I'm assuming because this is a lawless, horrible scumbaggery thing. Is there any weapons checks?
Yes,
What I know.
There are. Well, you'll know there are weapons checks. Mega damage weapons and armor are to be checked in or left on the ship, simply because this is not a high fancy station, and mega damage weapons could blow holes through walls.
Okay, so I'll just take my my little PPK style pistol then.
You do know that a lot of the space stations around center have mega damage holes, and you know that this one is not.
One of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or it's low mega damage.
Instead,
Exactly. Yes, correct.
I'll bring the steel Bicento to complete the outfit.
The which one? What the what now?
A Bicento.
Gesundheit.
It's
Got it.
essentially a Naginata, but with a bigger blade.
Got it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I know what a naginata is because I'm
Yeah.
smart.
22 skidoo to you too.
Okay, so it's a 5-foot pole with a 3-foot blade on it.
Got it. No, I actually
Yeah.
did know what a naginata was.
Okay.
I'm smart. So
No, you're a weeaboo. You're all weeaboos.
Wow.
Hey, listen, we're creating a game by a weeaboo who was a weeaboo before weeaboos were a thing. Kevin Simbita loves Japanimation and all that good stuff. So I'm so old. I know they used to call anime Japanimation
they
here
did.
in the West.
They did.
Yep.
That was back in the days of Battle
The nine-
Angel and
Yeah, Akira and shit.
Guyver.
Yeah.
All right, but yes. So got it. So is everyone? Is it okay? Here's a question: is anyone going to try and sneak anything past guards
Fuck no.
or the checks?
No, I don't want to get kicked out of here. Although smuggling is my thing, breathing is also my thing. So nah, I'm good.
The only things that Isaac is wearing is boxers, the ninja outfit, and the Bicento. That's it.
Okay. I had to think for a second there because you said boxers, and then I thought just from the waist up.
And then you started dreaming off, and you didn't hear the rest of it. You big
No,
pervert.
it's just that when he said ninja costume, for some reason I thought that wouldn't include pants. I don't know.
It's okay. I have a 19 physical
Okay,
beauty.
remind me if Squee says he's gonna dress up as a ninja for Halloween. Do not go to his Halloween party.
I'm a ninja in just boxers.
So
no
you
pants.
guys aren't hassled too much when you get to the checkpoint. Of course, they
Ooh.
check you over for mega damage items.
Yeah, the only thing they'll find is a can of knockout spray on Xavier's person. It's not mega damage.
All right. There is Lucas. I'm sorry. Did you say what you were bringing?
No. Let me
thought-
describe what I'm bringing. Lucas, being told to be discreet, pains himself to leave majority of his things behind, but he's going to be dressing in his.
Oh,
Let me
boy.
get this particular thing out.
Mrs. Fussy Dust?
No. He's
Oh,
going to
no.
pull out
Don't pull
He's-
out the sexiest Blagorth costume.
tempting, but he's going to be going in as an old Asian fisherman.
Oh my god. Are you going to bring a fishing pole and everything?
I wish I had one. I did not think ahead for such things. He's just going to have a bundle of throwing sticks, and that's about it for him.
Okay. So no magical items.
I think he's keeping his changing bracelet.
Okay.
He got a slew of other ones, but I think that will just be it.
Okay. And if you want to retcon anything later on, we can discuss it.
Right.
But so when you go through the checkpoint, there is an alien there that kind of sniffs around the air around you guys while everyone else is checking, and then he motions to Lucas. He says, "1 or 2 magical items, not very powerful, should be fine, boss." And the guy who's taking charge of the check nods, and you guys are allowed to pass.
Hooray. Okay. I'm just wondering if I want to wear my Cyrenid scarf because it's SDC armor. Yeah, I'm gonna wear my Cyrenid scarf.
So
Cyrenese
you're gonna
garb?
be clad in golden armor?
No, no. It was the stuff that we wore when we were
Oh,
locals.
the rags. Okay.
Kind of,
Mm.
kinda. But yeah, because I'm feeling I want to have some armor, and I can't have my force field, so. And I don't have any other. But you know what? No. I'm gonna want low profile, and I'm gonna dress as Amston the Shark in the black suit and shit. Yeah. Never mind. Style over protection. That's the important thing, right? Sure. Okay. Anyway,
Just keep telling yourself that. It's okay.
sure.
It's all right.
Xavier is going to ask. He knows that a hubbub of networking can be found whenever alcoholic drinks are served. So after we're done being checked by the guards, Xavier will give a charming, sneering smile, once again, under the guise of Amston the Shark, and he'll say, so, where's a great place to get a good, strong drink around here?
No. Try Jack's Pub. Down the hall. Can't miss it. Big blue sign.
What can
They
I
don't
say?
water things down too much.
No? Do you know Jack? Because I don't know Jack. Xavier will give a bit of a smirk.
He actually just nods at you like you did something right.
Xavier will give a wink, going with the paces, as he's going to kind of give him a nod and suggest to our companions that we head over to Jack's Pub.
Sounds good.
Yes, a ninja. This sounds like a joke. A ninja, a robot, an old fisherman, and a gangster enter a bar. And Indigo. She's a purple elf.
No,
No.
Indigo
Purple
is
stabbed
the
Indigo in the leg.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she's the bitch. No, she's the little cutie weirdo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
in a
Cyber
tank
Knight.
top.
Cyber Knight.
Yeah,
Mm.
she's
Oh,
a
she
cyber
told
knight.
Isaac that. Yeah.
I don't know that. This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Xavier doesn't know that, and I didn't know that. This is gonna be great. Cyber
So
Knights.
yes, you actually you travel down the hall, true to the man's word. Not too far, you do see the entire space station opens up, kind of like Frontier in a way. Way back when, the inside of the station is fairly hollow, and you can see it open up into kind of a marketplace. Cleaner than a lot cleaner than the docking bay you were in, but still not the high quality that you've been used to on Center. The crowd is moderate. It's not, a throng of people, but it's also pretty lively. And right when you exit out the corridor, you see immediately to your left, among the blue, among all the neon signs and the people going this way and that way, you do see a sign that says Axe Pub with a blue jay that kind of flickers in and out once in a while.
Okay. So Xavier will turn to his friend and say, my suggestion is we go in, we have a drink, and while we're doing so, I'll contact, my contact from Center and see if he can't refer us to a certain professional who could assist us in our next goal.
Sounds good.
Great. And I'm also checking my notes because I know I wrote down his name. Nope, that's the Lucitan. Ballin. Seth Geyser! There he is. And Fanic the Merchant. Oh, yeah, he's the one who got us onto... Hey, I wrote down the name of our accountant friend, Paul.
Oh, God.
I write down names, man.
Yeah,
I'm
Fanic was the one that
best.
got you the Corsair, the Siren gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, him.
Okay.
Jeez.
Not him. We won't contact
Yeah,
him.
not
but,
him.
Mr. Geyser. I'll contact him while we're having the drink and see if he doesn't know someone, maybe he knows someone on this station, or at the very least, everyone in this style of business, Xavier says confidently, knows somebody, right? Darn, if I decide to take the contact skill, this would have been perfect. It's a low percentage, but it's still really, really, really fucking handy in situations like this. But that's okay. My bad. What do you guys say? I could use a stiff drink. You look, drink. And he's gonna like point his finger to each person. Drink.
Isaac will not say anything, just nod. He's
Point
been
to
really
Cyber
silent
6.
so
Will sell?
far.
Cyber 6 will decline, but Indigo will nod.
Yeah, I knew I liked you. How's your leg, by
I
the way?
would love a drink.
Yes, that's great. You, Xavier says as he peers at the Asian fisherman. How do we know he's a fisherman then if he doesn't have a fisher pole?
Let me just get the picture of it.
Oh boy. Okay. Sounds like we're all good for drinks though. So I will step carefully into Jack's pub. I guess we'll step carefully into Jack's pub. And oh my god. Oh Jesus Christ. Do you have the pelican?
It might be a fake one.
It might be a marionette.
Can you put it in Roll20 so I can show the stream, please?
Oh yeah.
Wait, what? What am I missing here? Oh, there we go.
There. Yes.
Jesus.
Oh, nice.
Don't encourage him, you enabler.
No, I'm going to encourage this.
Yes.
Fine. How dare you encourage our creativity? You're the worst.
I
All
try.
right. I know.
When you step into Jack's pub, the second you walk in there, you hear what sounds like well, I don't know if your characters would have heard it before, probably, but it sounds like an old record player. Like when you first put a record on and the vinyl touches the needle and you hear that, it starts and then it goes, "Welcome to Jack's pub, where it's shiny every day."
Nope, I don't want it.
And then you notice that the people that are in the pub just kind of groan a little bit when it
okay.
plays.
No, this is fine. This is cool. Everyone hates it. All right, I see.
And then basically you're now in a fairly seedy bar. There is one bar that it makes a U shape in the center with chairs all around it, and then a few booths on either side. This whole bar could hold maybe 30 people at most.
Okay, and how many people are currently in it?
Only about 7 or so, and no one's really in groups. They're all in different parts of the bar, and one guy's in a booth.
Okay, well that implies that there's definitely a booth open, correct?
Yes.
All right, let's take a booth. Xavier will be bold. And I doubt they have any sort of servers here. Do we see any servers walking around, or is this something go up to the bar, get your drink type of thing?
No, you do see one looks kind of like a modified light labor robot walking around with a tray that instead of a left hand, it's actually a tray.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll wait for that thing to saunter on over. Xavier will give a bit of a sigh, and he'll kind of look around, and he'll say, I've spent probably about 20% of my life in places like this. Great contact. I don't know what it is. I guess it's the dingier it is, the less, people come on in and ask questions. Nah, I don't know. Either way, I'm going to wait till a drink hits my lips before I start dialing.
And as you say that, the light labor bot is slowly making its way towards you. And you hear from behind you, "Welcome to Jack's pub, where it's sunny every day." And you see people walking and shaking their heads.
Okay, all right, robot. Specials. What are your specials?
I'm sorry. Could you please rephrase?
Please list alcohol.
And he lists over 36 different types of alcoholic beverages, from what sounds like a very fancy screwdriver to straight up hard liquor like scotch on the rocks and pretty much everything in between.
Is there, because I like making up weird space names for stuff, can I suggest a drink?
Sure.
All right. A Pan-Galactic Snoss.
Pan-Galactic Snoths.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would be green and bubbly and very alcoholic.
Got it. Green,
Word?
bubbly, very alcoholic. All right. The robot would say it's 5 credits per drink.
Oh, sweet. Lay it on me. Two Pan-Galactic Snosses. Snossai? Robot, what is plural for snoss?
Snoposis, actually.
Oh, snosis. Okay, 2 snosis. 2 Pan-Galactic snosis for me.
The robot actually goes snosposis.
Snosposi. Snosposises. Snosposis too.
Snosposis.
Snosposis. I will have 2 Pan-Galactic snosposis.
The robot nods and then looks to the others. As Cyber 6 kind of leans in and he goes, I do believe the robot was actually being snarky with you.
Whatever. You would know. Xavier says as he gives a wink. I don't understand you people. You'll give a laugh. It's a joke. You're not the same.
What do you mean, you people?
I mean, no. You people who aren't people. Give another link.
He nods. Does anyone else want some get in on some of this? What was the singular? Now I've said the plural so many times, Inferno.
Snoss.
The snoss. Yeah. Anyone else want a transgalactic snoss?
I would like 2 transgalactic snossages, please.
Isaac
prompts the robot to even slower state the pronunciation of the drink.
That's what I said, snossages.
The robot, again, even slower.
Galactic snossages.
Cyber 6 then leans over to Lucas and says, It won't stop. It's a robot. It will keep doing it.
He'll lean close to where his ear would be.
Here's my secret. Neither will I.
Okay, Xavier says, you know what? He'll have exactly what I'm having.
Cyber 6 actually lowers his head until it thunks on the table, kind of pushing his sombrero up. All right. Isaac, do you want anything?
Isaac will make motions as if he is about to say something and stop, think about it, and motion no. Because, remember, he has a mask on, and if he takes the mask off, people will see him.
You can lift off the bottom of the mask and show your mouth.
No.
People are going to be like, that's the mouth of a cowboy!
Yes.
You look like a ninja. What is this?
Is he a cowboy or isn't he a ninja? I don't know.
You see, like, on the news, like, the Splagorth are like, delicately, if you see a mouse with these lines.
Puckered just like so. All right.
Indigo actually orders a hard liquor, very strong on the rocks.
Yep.
And the robot saunters off to get the drinks.
All right, with that,
Mm-hmm.
Xavier is going to start. He's going to put in a passive message, not try to do an active call for him, but there's probably some little code or turn of phrase that he would do in order when he contacts Seth Geyser about something needing, like, to contact him back ASAP. The message will be something like this. Hey, Seth, hope business is well. Looking for looking to hire a specialist, looking for your recommendation. Please reply back ASAP, critical.
Okay.
And Xavier will, after he types that off and presses send, he'll say, Well, now we just have to wait and see if Seth checks his mail relatively quickly. He tends to. He's pretty professional. And we'll see if we can't get a recommendation. If not here on this cruise line, then someplace on center. At the very least, now that we're here and our ship is discreetly put aside, we at least can probably hire a shuttle to get us to center without provoking any undue attention. So let's suss out the plan a little bit, or maybe come up with a plan B. I always like multiple plans in case something falls through. So our first thing that we've been brainstorming about is hiring a professional thief. All right. There's a possibility that we find someone who isn't trustworthy or outside of our budget. So then I think we should go with Cyber 6's plan, which is we find this AEG unit and he uses his Corsair flak in order to acquire it. Now, once again, I think it's safer to have hire someone else to go into the market, Spogorth market, and find it. But at the very least, see, we just got out. We just spent $50 million, 50 million credits to get us out of a sticky situation. I don't want to just go right back to it. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
So, if we can't hire a thief, maybe we can hire a scout. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So that maybe we'll make that as plan B. So what shall plan C be? We don't need a plan C, but while I'm still waiting here, while we're waiting for our pan-galactic SNOS, and Xavier's going to check his holographic computer, haven't gotten a reply back. I mean, I guess we could talk about, the anomalies in space and our histories and how much we like each other, but I figure we all have a lot on our minds right now.
Well, Cyber 6.
Yes.
Do you know of any other Corsairs in this time?
Not as such, no. The Corsairs, a unit of Corsairs acts virtually independently. I mean, we still have a council we answer to, but we don't have a chain of command so much. We accept bounties that we want and pursue them. So if...
You wouldn't know if, say, another Corsair group were 3 light years away that direction?
No, I would not.
Figured it was a shot. Because my idea was to try and rendezvous with somebody that already had an AEG. Which would have been fantastic. And I would have preferred for it to be Corsairs, but...
Well, we could maybe have Plan Z be Lucas putting on his sexy Splagorth costume and try to seduce one from Plan Z.
Zed goes up and he has the biggest grin on his face.
Cyber 6 says,
last ditch.
considering that the AAG won't be invented for at least another 200 years, I think a large intergalactic market like the Splagorths would be the only place to find it.
Yeah, or on a
Barring, of
Splagorth
course,
ship.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, or on a Splagorth ship.
Well,
Oh,
even
I'm
that
certain.
wouldn't be very likely. Most Splagorth ships of this time wouldn't know about it.
Yeah, that's why I was saying... Or I was trying to get across we would need to find a specific one. I don't even know where we would start. If there was a way to maybe figure out if this certain ship was from a different time, if it was made with different materials, or what.
Although that does bring up a really interesting idea. Is there anything in there? Maybe we don't need to have a visual detection. Maybe we could find a more technical one. Is there anything in or made up or a special element or a special component, which we could configure a scanner to try to pick up.
Or could we possibly get Hart to rig one up if we knew enough about it?
Cyber 6 pauses for a second. He says, normally I would say no, but you've spoken highly of this heart before. There is a way, theoretically, to track it. An AAG makes a microscopic black hole, which allows you to send radio transmissions through. Think of it this way. The AAG itself is not what allows us to travel through the gate. It allows us to send a signal to request transfers or travel. But any device that can make a black hole would require two things. It would require a nuclear power source far more advanced than what you would normally find in this age. And it would require a special element that, what did the mechanics call it? Element serum, I think. It's has a rare quality that it is resistant to gravity.
Well, I have no doubt that we could potentially rig up, because we have that PPE battery in the engine, the PPE gem. You guys remember that? That could maybe soup up our nuclear reactor, but I don't know if the reactor will actually survive. That was one of the few things from the loose tin that we kept. As for this element, I have no idea how to get my hands on it. But it would be an interesting
Cyber 6 shakes his head. He says, no, I was simply referring that an AAG has these two things. If we could find a way to identify that. Wait, hang on. And like Cyber 6 seems to shut down for a second. And then after about 15 seconds, you hear a soft whirring as he powers up again. And he says, sorry, I was processing. Do you think your mechanic could make a device that would send out gravity waves? They could be tiny, small ones, as long as the device could pick it up. If there is an AAG and it has element serum in it, it would repel the gravity waves. And I can't think of any other element or object that could do something like that. It'd have to be made from that element.
Well, she is extremely talented. I'll give you that. I don't know if she can do that specifically.
It's worth a shot.
But she has, for instance, made a suite of spy equipment in these little tiny, tiny flies that records several hours of audio that runs on nuclear power. Audio, video, all that stuff. You guys remember that?
Yeah. Xavier says, suffice to say, when it comes to something creative and indifferent, you can't find anyone better than Hart.
Yeah.
So if anyone can do it, it's probably her. And I think this is a solid enough idea to make it our plan B.
Yeah.
Indigo has actually drained her drink and is holding up the glass, shaking it for more, as she says, sounds useful.
Xavier will slide over his second glass of snoss over to her, and he'll say, just to tie you over there, Indigo.
She nods gratefully and starts pounding it.
Okay, well, watch out. Too much snoss. Nah, it doesn't matter.
She looks at you over the rim of the cup and then says, I was stuck in a vampire hellhole for 3 days, betrayed by people I thought were my friends. A little bit of alcohol is just what I need right now.
Well, I mean, we also have a lot more on the ship.
True. So suffice to say, let's not worry about our drinking habits right now and more worry about our breathing habits, yes? Okay, so we have a plan A, we have a plan B, we even have a plan C, and we have a plan Z.
With that, you'll actually hear a little chirp on your computer.
I hope this is not spam, Xavier says, or whatever we would say in space. I hope it is not whatever we would say, spam in space. As he'll open up his holographic computer.
Hope it's not
and rest
Snoz.
his peekers.
It is from an unknown source. The sender is blocked. However, what is in it contains something that you're fairly familiar with. It is a radio frequency used by a secure radio. So basically, any radios, like there's a few on your ship because you bought a slider. And you could probably find a few at other places that are radios that automatically scramble their transmission.
Okay.
And then the other radio that has the same frequency can unscramble it. It's very commonly used by smugglers and the like.
Yeah, smugglers. So, in other words, we're either going to have to go back to the ship in order for me to access this scrambled radio frequency, or find some sort of station or something like that here in order to use it, right? Like a communication station or something?
Actually, yes, you can go to your ship. That's probably going to be I mean, your radios are the ones you're most familiar with. However, this bar itself has no less than 3 enclosed radio booths that would probably have those kind of radios.
The triumvirate bless this shady bar, Xavier says. He goes, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, as he slides past, we'll say, oh, Lucas and Indigo. As he says, I'll be right back. I'll let you know what our mutual friend has to say. As he heads over to one of these terminals, he'll pass by one of the robots and he'll say, 5 more snos for that table, please.
The robot will nod and continue on its way. And as Xavier leaves, Indigo will finish pounding the drink, put it on the table, and then say, Plan A, B, C, that's all nice. I'm more interested in what your long game is. Why are you... I'm grateful that you're helping us find an AAG, but what's your plan?
What do you mean? We gotta get the orb back.
She nods her head and she says, technically, Cyber and I have to get the orb back. None of your friends or family were threatened by Thraxis. Ours were.
He would hold us seriously responsible. Personally accountable because of what we said and did. There is no way that we can survive in this timeline to have an enemy like that.
So your goal is to return to us to our time for what, forever?
Maybe, maybe not.
She pauses. She says, I'm not trying to sound harsh, though alcohol does make me rather blunt. I just want you to understand what you are considering. If you come back with us, you may never be able to come back here. I mean, you might. It's not unheard of. It's not technically against the rules, but you wouldn't be able to live here anymore. Those you've met, those you've loved, those you've made connections with, you might be able to see them on a passing basis only.
Are you telling me that most... excuse me, if you're telling me that most of my friends, family, and acquaintances I met over the years would not be able to see me anymore?
Basically, by coming back to us in the future with us, understand that you might be removed from this timeline. You remember why we were here in the first place, yes?
Yes, He taps the glass on the table. You were here to stop a man.
No.
Hunt.
When we approached you on Center, we were here to stop the timeline from splitting, which we're all pretty confident now is because of those vampires. If you come to the future with us, and those vampires succeed, they will cause a split in the timeline, meaning that the people you know now, the people you love, the people you've made connections with will become a part of that alternate timeline, which you will be removed from, and you will never be able to return to unless you break a lot of rules.
Sounds pretty good to me. Lucas spins his glass on the table.
Cyber 6 says, what Indigo's getting at is, if the vampires aren't stopped, theoretically speaking, it would be bad for this timeline, but this timeline would no longer be the main timeline. It would be an alternate timeline that would be erased. And that means that in the main timeline, the people you know, the people you're connected with might be different than how you see them now or in the future. If we want to be sure you can return here whenever you want, we have to be sure the timeline doesn't split. But it's a problem that I don't know if we're equipped to handle right now.
Sounds like it.
Indigo nods and she says, if you stay here, it doesn't matter if this timeline splits off or not. You can continue in it. You can continue with the same attachments and relationships you have. At least until a Corsair shuts it down. But that could be 100 years from now.
Let me be blunt back at you. Most of the people that I get in contact are glancing, smiling faces or people that want me dead. I have no close people. Heck, I barely even consider this guy that close as he points over to Isaac.
Isaac flips you off. And here I thought we were friends.
We are
You're reinforcing
friends.
his hypothesis.
You gonna go see?
I don't know if this guy. I don't think this guy's my friend as he flips you off. You know what I mean?
Indigo says, then that might not be such a bad choice for you. I just think that you deserve to know what you're considering. And with that, she starts pounding another drink. Because the 5 new snossers have arrived.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Listen.
Isaac?
Yeah, I know. Hold on. I do not have any other family left. The only one I have is my father, and I'm still trying to find him. The only way to find him is to go with you guys, or to get the information from the Corsairs. And if you say is true, what you say is true, then there is no guarantee that you will come back and give me said information. So my hands are tied. I have nobody except for him and my friends. I did have a fling not too long ago. That will be resolved once I can send a package to her. That is it.
I see. Well then, maybe this is an easier decision than I thought it would be. And with that, you guys mind if we move over to Xavier real quick?
Do it.
All right. Xavier, you get in the booth.
Yeah, what's up? All right.
You activate a secure channel
Mm-hmm.
and punch in the radio coordinates.
Great. Boop, 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 boop.
And on
Beep,
the other
beep, boop,
side,
boop, boop.
you hear. Actually, I should ask to be a studious GM. Your
Phil
friend, do you generally approach him as Philip Buckley, correct?
Yep. He only
Okay.
knows me as Phil Buckley.
Got it. He gets on the radio and he says, You're not exactly the type to send urgent transmissions very often. You're usually far more careful than that.
Oh, yes, indeed. But, well, every once in a while an emergency happens. I wouldn't call this an emergency, but the sooner the better on this, Seth. Frankly, uh, frankly, you do damn good work, and you're my favorite person to talk to in matters of this. And you always enjoy the repeat business. I'm wondering if you could put some feelers out. I'm looking for a professional, more specifically, a professional who's very good at acquiring things that might not be originally theirs for money.
I see.
Mm-hmm. And I understand that you more work with documentation and digital identification and all that good stuff. But I was just wondering, I'm sure I'm not the only person who's come to you looking for new identification. And I'm just wondering if you might have some recommendations, preferably someone who either works at center or can be accessed at center, or preferably over at the Galactic Cruise Line station.
You must really be in an emergency if you're slumming it up there.
No, I'm not summing it up there. No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying those are 2 points where I would like to meet this person.
Philip, no one wants to
What?
meet anyone on the Galactic Cruise Lines, but I catch your
Unless
meaning.
they have business to discuss, right?
Right, right.
Mhm.
Of
So,
course. So,
of course.
I could probably help. You know me. I'm
Great.
all about customer needs. So you
And
need
of course, there
someone.
will be an admirable finder's fee. We'll say 5% of what we're going to be offering them for this job.
So you need.
Okay, I'm going to just spell it out because we're old friends. I need a thief. I need a professional thief, and I need a good thief.
That's definitely doable. It's not cheap, but it's doable.
Yeah, of
This
course.
thief,
Mhm.
what kind of skills are we looking for? Where are they? No, you know what?
Preferably non-human, with a penchant or experience with working in or lifting things from the Splagorth trading outpost there on Center.
You hear? Have you ever heard the difference between when someone's on speakerphone, they pick up the receiver really fast to start talking?
Yeah.
You hear that noise. It goes, I'm sorry, Philip, did you just say that you want to hire a thief to go into the Splagorth market and steal something?
Correct. I'm sure they're not the only one. I'm sure someone has stolen something from there at some point.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand
It's
we're talking about the
doable.
millions of credits here. I get it. It's a
All
very
right.
small item. Here, if it's any consolation, it's a very minor, discreet, small item that is easily to be held and that no one is going to miss. We're not talking about, this is not a magic item. This is not a item of a technology. It's a metal box.
I think it's doable. Oh man,
Great.
this is very different from your usual.
Sure, exactly. And let's just say this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna let you in on the gig, so you have a better idea of what's going on. All right. I have met someone here. I'm not going to tell you where, whether it's on Center or if it's in the Galactic tourism. I mean, Galactic Cruise Line station. But uh, they want they want this item acquired and then discreetly brought to them. And this is an extremely high paying job. And I'm the guy who can bring it to them really low key, but I need to find someone who can acquire it for them, you know? And this person, I got him eating out of my hand, but time is a factor for him. He needs this in like the next, well, preferably the next 24 hours, 3 days at the absolute latest. And I don't want this opportunity to slip through my fingers, because all of us, you, the guy who finds the person, the thief, and me, can make a huge score. Just immensely huge. And here, let me drop you something else for you. It's for the CCW. Can you believe that? They're doing some sort of covert up shit or something like that. So, they're good for it.
Roll me a trust check.
Sure. I'm trusty. I'm trustworthy.
You're very trusty. You're a trustworthy guy.
I promise we will never come here and harm your friends. Yeah,
Wow.
fuck yes. Call me goddamn Obi-Wan Kenobi because I'm mind tricking bitches. All right.
You hear the CCW is gearing up for the war.
Mhm.
I've already heard a skirmish is happening on the outer reaches, and the Splagorth and the CCW on center are. Well, you could hear a pin drop when they're in the same room.
And if it's any consolation, I've been assured this is not a weapon that is being acquired. If my guess, it's probably just a box. It's probably like a hard drive with data on it.
Well, so the CCW, the high and mighty CCW, is looking at us smugglers
Exactly.
for help now. They must be desperate. All right.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's say I know a guy.
Okay.
All right. Let's say this guy is non-human, could freely walk in and out of Splagorth territory.
Great.
Use him from time to time.
Okay.
Well, the item he's looking for, is it common? Are we talking some just straight up biotech? What are we talking here?
It's not biotech. Here's the thing. It's like I said, it's literally a metal box. I don't know what's in the box, but as far as rarity goes, I mean, it's not something he's going to find just lying around. It's something that is going to be probably discreetly sold. So he'll have to have a keen sense and a lot of patience to find it. When we meet him, and I met him, and it's more reliable, I can give him more. Obviously, I'll give him more detailed description because obviously we want to keep this underneath our hat, right, Seth? So suffice to say, it is not a common item that he has to buy. It is an uncommon item that he will have to steal. But it is not uncommon in the sense that it is a powerful piece of weaponry or magic. It is a mundane item that is hard to find. How's that sound?
I understand. So hard to find. That'll make it more difficult.
Sure.
All right. Because you're a friend. We've been doing business for a long time.
We sure
And
have.
because you said the magic words.
Money? And Xavier will give a laugh. And then you'll hear him say, "Don't drink all that snoss before I get there." Sorry.
You
That's
hear
the
Seth
client.
chuckle.
He drinks like a fish.
You hear Seth chuckle. Yeah. So, like I said, I know this guy might be up for it. He's good. He's never failed to pull off well. I wouldn't say he's succeeded in every job, but he's never been caught and has never gotten back to his employers, which is really what matters.
Yeah, bingo.
He's not going to like the idea of the item being rare and not knowing right where to go, because how are you supposed to case a joint and see how hard a job is? So
Well,
here's
I've
the
been
deal.
informed that we might provide some technical assistance in helping him locating this item. That is a possibility, a detector, so to speak. So it might not be super hard to find.
That would help.
Mm-hmm.
But let me make sure you understand exactly what you're getting into here. This guy.
Oh, uh-huh.
You don't know exactly where it is, what he's looking for, how likely he is to find it. That's fine. We can work with that. However, he's very thorough. He takes commission based on how hard the job is. Now, when he doesn't know
Okay.
where it is or what he's stealing, it becomes harder. But if he locates the object, he'll take thorough pictures of security and then he'll steal it.
Oh, I see.
The
As a
thing
proof
is,
of difficulty. Gotcha.
exactly. And here's the problem. The harder the difficulty, the more the money. The more the money,
Sure.
well, if he comes to you with the item you requested and you don't have the money, well, that's a problem.
Sure. Well, I'm pretty flush with cash, and I'll be even more flush once this is done. What's the most expensive paycheck he's ever gotten? Do you know?
As far as I know,
Yeah.
10 mil.
Okay. No, that's within our budget.
Well, you are moving up in the world, aren't you?
Sure am. I sure am. You have no idea. And this, let's just say, even if I have to pay the full 10 mil, it will be worth it.
All right. So let's say max 10 mil for him, finder's fee
Okay.
for me. For that, I wouldn't take more than a solid mil, of course. That's my maximum
Uh-huh.
fee.
Uh-huh.
Say 11 mil, get the job done, but we get it done right.
Sure. Yes.
Give me a day. Let me talk to him.
Okay.
And I'll meet you there.
All right.
Well, I'll meet you on.
Well, you name a place. You name a place, and we'll meet. Center, well, like I said, either center or the cruise.
No. Center's too hot right now. Splitgorth are searching for some idiots that got themselves on their radar.
Oh, really? Oh, boy. Okay.
Yeah. Can you believe that? Their faces are plastered all over the place.
What can you say?
I
Not
don't know.
smart
Some
like
people
us.
are fools.
Yeah, I guess so.
But meet up in space.
Xavier is not smiling now.
We'll meet up in space.
You can't tell.
Transgalactic Cruise Lines is actually not a bad place to meet. You
That's what I
know,
thought.
there's a bar in there.
Okay.
It's a simple name. It's just bar number 4.
Okay.
Keeps a low profile.
All right.
Meet me there in one day. Say this time tomorrow.
All right. Will you be able to set up the meet and greet? Will you come with our mutual friend?
That's the idea. I'll contact you if anything changes.
Fantastic. All right. Well, pleasure doing business with you, Seth. We'll talk to you soon.
In return, you bring
Mhm.
whatever you got to help him find that thing, because if we make an agreement tomorrow, his job begins then. The sooner he moves, the better.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you this because you're my friend, Philip. Things are getting bad. Things are getting real bad. I suggest you finish whatever business you got here and you get as far away from the CCW and Splitgorth main worlds as you can, because it's going to get
You
bad.
ever hear in our business, you always hear the fabled one last big score and then we're done? You hear that a few times. Sometimes it's a bunch of bullshit. Sometimes some people you never hear from again. And it's not because they were killed. It's because, well, maybe they had the big score and they went off to a happy hunting ground. Well, one last big score, Seth. And then, I don't know if we see ourselves again, we'll probably be under different circumstances. We'll see.
If you say so, Philip. If you say so. Tomorrow. This time tomorrow. I'll meet you at number 4.
All right. Number 4. You got it.
And you'll hear a click.
All right. Xavier will saunter himself on over to the back to the table, back to the bar. I mean, back to the what do you call it?
The
fucking booth. Yeah, there we go. And he'll say, "Well, good news. Good news, and well, mostly good news." Xavier says, managed to get in contact with my mutual friend, and he does know someone who is professional and skilled enough in order to do this. Now, he's going to cost a pretty plenty, but since this was my idea, I'll pay for it personally out of my own funds. Because if it works out, it's going to be very, very useful. The only thing is that we should probably talk with Hart sooner rather than later, because this guy charges based on how difficult something is. And if she can rig up a quick device to at least help detect this AEG thing, and we are able to give it to this guy when we meet him tomorrow at bar 4, then it's going to make the job go a lot faster, and it'll probably be a little bit easier on my wallet. But he's non-human. He's done stuff with the Splagorth before, and I told him it was a secret covert government thing. So he has no idea exactly what he's stealing. I just told him it was a small metal box that probably holds some important data on it. Which actually isn't really a lie, Xavier says, thinking for a moment. So, we have to wait a day, but looks like we might have our thief. Hopefully. If not, well, then we go to plan B and we'll go to plan C. What do you
Seems
think,
good to
fellas
me.
and
Yeah.
lady? Good. Well, how many pan-galactic snos is left?
Isaac, have you drinking any?
No.
All right. Lucas, have you drinking any other than your first?
Yes.
How many?
Probably one more.
All right, so 2. So of the 5 new ones, there's 2 left.
Okay, Xavier's going to quickly scoop one up and down it real quick, and he'll say, well, I'm going to see if I can't hunt down Hart. Cyber 6, I wouldn't mind if you came with me, at the very least, so you can describe exactly what you would be configuring this thing for. But I'm willing to just head off to the ship with you guys, unless you want to explore around on your own. We do have a day to kill, after all.
GM,
Yes.
this place we're in, what's the quality of food here? Do they have food?
They have a menu, yes.
Okay, what I'm specifically looking for is something really, really greasy, really, really fatty, like a double cheeseburger, some onion
Good
rings
golly,
and
Miss
stuff.
Molly, you came to the right place.
Yeah, so
they
I'm
don't have a stove; they have a fryer.
okay. So I'm just gonna get like a burger, a whole bunch of like French fries and onion rings and stuff, and just put it all in a bag and then take it with us back to the ship for Hart.
Okay.
Yeah.
For Hart, I just caught the last part for some reason.
Yep.
It took me a second. Okay.
And a slice of cheesecake.
Okay, they don't have cheesecake.
Deep fried something. That's
you
for
go.
dessert.
They have deep fried carrot cake.
That
Oh, boy.
works.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised, but the technology to make that is actually fairly advanced.
I see.
All right,
Back to the ship.
So, you guys head back to the ship, and when you get back to the ship, the ramp opens up, of course, and obviously Sarah and Hart stayed on the ship. They didn't go with you guys to the bar. When you get back on the ship, you see Hart sitting on. You know how you guys, when you're in the ship, you walk into the cargo bay, and you can see up above you is the railing where you can walk around to the smuggler's lounge and your rooms and stuff. Hart is sitting with her legs dangling over the side, and she is sobbing into her arm.
Oh God. What's going on, Hart? How are you doing?
Oh, boss, Tal, he's gone.
What?
His room. She just kind of points behind her, and then she just puts her head back down.
Here. And he's going to just shove the bag at her?
She'll kind of drop it next to her.
It's good stuff. Anyways, Isaac's going to try and rush towards Talevac's room.
All right. The door is open. Everything is gone, except for maybe a few plant leaves and things like that. And on his bed is a message player and a cred stick.
Okay.
I have sent you all a link to something that I will play for you guys, and we'll do like a Piph countdown.
Oh boy.
Okay.
All right.
You may have to download it. I'm not sure if it's working.
No, I can play it, so at least the chat can listen.
I'm gonna
Oh,
try to download it.
I have to actually download it. Damn.
Yeah, you might have to.
What?
Drive B-
I'm just kidding.
Google Drive be whack, yo.
Google Drive me Google. Oh, I can play it. No, I have to download. God damn it.
Same thing that I said.
Maximum size that Google can scam. 34K. Jesus, Tal.
Wow.
I'm teasing. Oh my god.
But yes,
Deep fried ice cream is the shit. I just wanted to say that randomly.
Yeah, dude.
it is true. I don't know how they do it, but it's very impressive.
Okay. I am ready to press play whenever other people are ready to press play.
Not quite ready.
Press play? Press it.
Let's play.
Just press play.
Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1, go.
This is very hard for me to say, but my time with the crew has come to an end. As you know, my people are being killed by the vile Splurorth. I cannot just sit here and allow this genocide to continue. We are a peaceful race, and they need a leader to stand up for them, to help them survive this tragic event. I may not survive in the coming days, but I will die with rapture in my hands, covered in Splurorth blood. As for my time on the ship, it was a life-altering experience. Before all this, I was a low-life miscreant with no direction and no morals. Now, I'm a miscreant with a solid purpose in life thanks to my new friends. You maybe believe in the goodness that humans can be to other species. I never thought in a million years I would be on a ship battling evildoers across the stars with the best crew I've ever had the privilege to work with. Over our time together, you've become not only my friends, but my brood, a bond that cannot be broken even in death. I know I was rash, impulsive, and stubborn, but I meant well. My upbringing was hard, and I apologize for my abrasiveness. Now, as for you, my closest thoughts. Isaac, when we first met, I thought you were a pain in my ass with your goody-goody values. But now, I feel that morale is something to aspire to. I hope more beings are like you.
I need to turn this louder because it's way too low.
I understand.
Ooh.
This is very hard for me to say, but my time with the crew has come to an end. As you know, my people are being killed by the vile Splurorth. I cannot just sit here and allow this genocide to continue. We are a peaceful race, and they need a leader to stand up for them, to help them survive this tragic event. I may not survive in the coming days, but I will die with rapture in my hands, covered in Splurorth blood. As for my time on the ship, it was a life-altering experience. Before all this, I was a low-life miscreant with no direction and no morals. Now, I'm a miscreant with a solid purpose in life thanks to my new friends. You maybe believe in the goodness that humans can be to other species. I never thought in a million years I would be on a ship battling evildoers across the stars with the best crew I've ever had the privilege to work with. Over our time together, you've become not only my friends, but my brood, a bond that cannot be broken even in death. I know I was rash, impulsive, and stubborn, but I meant well. My upbringing was hard, and I apologize for my abrasiveness. Now, as for you, my closest thoughts. Isaac, when we first met, I thought you were a pain in my ass with your goody-goody values. But now, I feel that morale is something to aspire to. I hope more beings are like you. And I pray you find your father and make amends. Lucas. Oh, Lucas. You are the oddest creature I've ever known. Your brand of unconventional tactics saved our hides more times than there are stars in the galaxy. I'll never really understand you, but that's besides the point. Never stop being you, and always keep us wondering. And to Xavier. At first, you were just another drunken fool to be had, but now it's a little different. You were always my better judgment, and without your guidance, I would still be a reclusive reptile living under a rock. That silver tongue of yours is priceless, so be careful with it. It may be worth a hefty sum on the black market. And Hart, do me a favor, please, and keep these jokers in line for me. I won't be there to bail their hides out anymore. I will never forget our adventures, and when all of this is over, I'll be on Flanders Paradise with 3 open rooms ready. And, as a parting gift, I left you something that may come in handy. It's another bad habit I've learned from you guys. Farewell, my brood. Till next time we meet.
Well, okay.
That was very nice. I like
Mhm.
that a lot.
And next to the, as I said, next to the message recorder is a credit chip on which you will find 9 million credits.
Damn, son. Nice.
He bought us a thief.
He did. He bought us a thief.
Sweet.
Aw.
That is the best gift I have ever gotten.
See, Televac knows how to give gifts. Just give cash, man. Everyone knows what to do with cash.
Now, where are poppers? As he starts looking around.
No, we're using this for a thief. Remember how I said I was going to pay for it? No, Televac will pay for a thief. Televac is perfect for that. Okay. Anyway, but wait, was I there for that? Listen to the message, or do I hear it later?
all of you.
Okay.
We can say all
Yeah.
of you did.
All right.
You hear it.
Okay.
Yeah, you would have all seen Hart crying on the banister and directed towards Tal's room.
Gotcha. Well, it's too bad he wasn't able to tell us that in person, but under the circumstances, I guess I can understand why he has a sense of urgency. Besides, who's to say we won't run into him again on this timeline or another one? And when a person's got to do what they got to do, ain't no one's going to be able to stop them, right?
You tell him.
That puts a little bit of a damper on things, but Hart, we we'll talk more of Tal's decision maybe when things calm down for us. But Cyber here, we're trying to find a way to locate this particular AE. What is it called? AEG, right?
AAG, yeah.
Yeah, AAG. This AAG device. And it might be made of a certain components that might be detectable through if I remember that right, a gravitational field?
Cyber 6 would not, he'd say. Through some sort of device that could transmit gravitational waves.
Exactly. So we're wondering if you'd be able to, it doesn't have to be pretty looking, it just has to be functional, in which to a small handheld scanner that can be used to detect something like that. Even just a measure of gravitational waves in general would be better than nothing.
She
So the more powerful the wave, the stronger the signal or the feedback would be.
she kind of sniffs a little bit and kind of wipes her face, and she goes, "So, you want a gravity particle generator?"
Yes. If that does the things that I say, that's exactly what I'm requesting. And
Mhm.
Hart, think about this. Where we are right now, and the situation that we're in, is extremely serious. I understand that Tal's gone off to fight the Splagorth with his people, but ironically, he might be safer with a group of his own people fighting in an organized way than us who are, quite frankly, just running from fire to fire.
I guess,
Yeah. So, silver lining.
but he said he was going to fight the Splagorth.
Sure, but with a military and a planet federation, there's a big difference between fighting the Splagorth with people who have your back versus, what, like 6 of us in one ship? I'm sure his people has like a fleet, right?
She kind of scrubs her face and she says, "I guess so."
Exactly. We're not a fleet.
Gravity generator.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'd have to get a device that could transmit particles. I might be able to do that.
Great, wonderful. Would you be able to have something ready in about, I don't know, 24 hours? Xavier gives a winning smile.
Her head shoots up and she goes, 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Still working prototype?
wha- uh, maybe.
Okay.
And she starts like dashing towards the engine room, going, "Isaac!"
There we go. Okay. My work is done, Xavier says, as he pats his hands.
Isaac will watch her running to the engine room, look down, grab the bag of food that he got her, and then run after her.
Okay.
Chasing her with
Um,
food.
we will
See,
say
he gets women.
for the next 24 hours, Isaac, unless you are not willing, you won't be getting much sleep. You will be assisting Hart. Much of what she does, you're not going to understand, but you understand a bit, and you could kind of consider it like learning a little bit more about how the mechanics work and technology. But like I said, she's dealing with things that are basically what she's building. She's almost having to constantly telemechanic and delve into because it's that advanced.
Interesting. Yeah, that's cool.
Also, someone roll me a 1d6, please.
No! You roll your own dice, you slut. Just kidding. I'm rolling.
Alright.
1!
One of your little advanced fly bug cameras has to be cannibalized.
Yay, I rolled the best today.
That's cool.
All right.
No.
Don't
We still
tell
have,
Lucas,
like,
it's gonna be his
19.
favorite one. You probably named all of them. Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Sorry, guys. Give me just 1 second here.
Sure. DMing on the fly. No pun intended. Hey, I just got it. I made myself laugh.
Yeah.
Yay, pun day. What is going on? Also, are you guys on a blank page or is that just me?
Yeah, I'm on a blank
That might
page
be-
too.
I'm
Okay,
not.
good.
There's a space station over there.
God damn it! I got.
There isn't for me.
Yeah, we
Try
tried
refreshing
resizing.
or zooming in or out or something.
There
Oh,
it is.
I'm
It's a picture
completely
of the
zoomed
space
out.
station. You're on the
I'll refresh
Galactic
then.
cruise line.
Yeah, just got refreshed. It was the same thing with me too.
Hmm.
Look how pretty it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
not
there
that
it is.
It would be one
Okay.
of those things where just like we had to take down one of the flies. No, it's okay. They just had to do it on the fly.
That was
get
easy.
it. I get it.
It's very easy to appease.
All right. So about a day goes by. During which time, I have two interactions. Of course, if you guys as players have any interactions during that 24-hour period, let me know.
I'm dealing with electronic stuff way above my head, basically sleeping on the table because there's so much alcohol and techno speak, business things. Lucas is going to go back to what he knows, messing with magic. He's going to be with the scroll.
Okay. While you're messing with the scroll, technically not reading it but learning it,
Right.
You'd get a knock on your door.
He puts down one of his crayons that he's been drawing on the scroll.
You're not learning at all, are you?
It's
All
a
right,
kind of learning. And opens the door.
It's Sarah. And she is a little bit disheveled. You can smell
Booze in the hole?
gosh, yes.
Rum.
I'm sorry, I already forgot the drink you made,
Snoss?
Inferno. Snoss, thank you.
Pangalactic Snoss.
She smells a little bit of Pangalactic Snoss.
Oh my god, someone's gonna get laid.
And the second the door opens, she comes in and she goes, Lucas, I need to talk to you.
You can just hear a voice, Xavier's voice in your head. Do it!
Yeah, I could talk.
She goes and she sits down somewhere in your room, either on the bed. Are there any sort of chairs or low tables?
There's definitely a low table.
Oh no, wait, hang on. She'll go to go into your room and walk up to the wall that has the pinup diagram and start studying it, losing her train of thought. And then she'll say, what is this?
This, my darling, is how we're gonna find the hero of our age.
What?
So much cocaine.
See over
So
here,
much.
as he points to a circle that says Bob. That's our key.
Bob.
Yes.
There's got to be like 1 trillion Bobs.
This one's special. He's an Atlantean.
Ah. Right. Look, Lucas, sorry. Losing my train of thought. I need to talk to you.
Yes.
Well, I need you to be honest with me.
Okay.
My mother, you said you didn't see her?
Oh, I didn't say anything about that. Oh, I should probably tell you about it. Yeah, we she told us to tell you that she's dead.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
She told us to tell you.
Why?
So true.
Why would she do that?
So odd situation. So she's not a vampire, but she does seem to be under the control of them. However, it looks like if the vampire that's controlling her is killed, she gets better from that. Probably.
Okay, but I mean, then you're gonna kill her, right? I mean, him, whatever it is.
The vampire. Yes. Currently in a terrible position for that.
What does that mean?
It means that we actually have a crack team of priests going down there and probably going to be fighting those vampires.
And they'll save my mother?
Most likely than not.
I don't know what that means.
it's one of those things where I really don't know the odds. Like I just figured out what a priest was like 2 days ago.
So maybe they'll save her. Maybe they'll walk in and get slaughtered. Is that what you're telling me?
I would say, well, if it's the priest that I saw, probably not going to get slaughtered. I gave him the biggest weapon.
Well, I mean, what do I do? What do I? I'm not a fighter. How do I?
How do you
She
help?
kind of like looks frustrated and sits down on the bed.
Well, it depends on what you would like to do. Because I'm going to drop some big news on you. I hope you're ready. As he like sees like a bit of foam on the side of her mouth. Green foam.
A little bit.
um so we are us as our group are kind of in quite of a pickle. We seem to be one of the most wanted people in Center at the moment, and we are currently trying to not be, as well as the biggest market man in the Center also wants our head in some facet, and that's bad. So right now we are trying to get into a position where we could go out adventuring killing vampires. Just we can't right now. And we are going to be going somewhere very far away that we may never see each other again. That is if you don't come. If you want to come, I think that should be fine.
I don't understand, but I know that you are in trouble with Splagorth and that the people we were working with betrayed you, and now there's this. And she tosses you like like a small portable TV
Mm.
that has it's the PSA from the Splagorth that has all of your information, and below it has a list of known associates, including Sarah's picture and her name, and that she worked at Flanders Paradise, as well as a description on Xavier's teacher, a description on Isaac's fling from Flanders Paradise, Rebith. And I don't believe Lucas talked about any close people to him.
Lucas doesn't really have close people.
Didn't think so.
He has a lot of people that he met, adventured with, or became enemies with, but none of them have ever been close.
So it's got the four of you, and then below them it has, like I said, it has Sarah with her name and where she works. Hart, not much information on Hart, just kind of her picture and her name. And then the information on Xavier's teacher and Rebith. And when she has that too, she goes, "What do I do? They know where I my name. They know where I work."
Oh, then you might want to actually come with us. As he looks through this, I don't know who these people are, but it looks like you might need also a place to keep low. That's what we're working on currently.
I should also, before I forget, because what you're seeing is you don't see pictures of Rebeth or Xavier's teacher. The only one you see pictures of is Hart and Sarah.
Mm.
And they look like pictures that were taken without their knowledge. Like they obviously weren't posing or anything.
Lucas was posing.
Lucas was posing. And Sarah goes, but my mom.
Then she Oh. Well, okay. You might want to actually come with us then. I was spacing in and out a few of the alcohol, but I seem to hear that this is something called a dietary timeline.
What?
It's a timeline that's going to not be here anymore. You see, the vampires weren't supposed to be here, so it's going to get fixed eventually, and then I believe that event won't happen. And then the timelines will get better, and I don't think your mom will be a vampire thing. It's not even a vampire. It's like whatever.
So by coming with you, my mom will be set free?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you, Lucas. I don't know what this is, and she kind of points to you and her. But
I'm Lucas.
I know that I enjoy spending time with you, and I don't know if I want to stop that. So maybe I'll consider coming if you'll let me, but on one condition.
Go for it.
We can jump time, right? That's what Cyber 6 said? Time jumping bounty hunters?
We're working on becoming time detectives.
I don't know about becoming a detective. I don't know if I have any skills for that kind of thing, but if we can jump through time, then I want to come with you, but as long as you promise me that sometime we will save my mother. I don't care if it's this timeline or a dietary timeline or 10 years from now or tomorrow. Just promise me you'll try. We'll try.
Lucas gives a big smile. Shoot, I've been wondering when somebody's actually gonna freaking want to go on an adventure. This sounds great. I think when we get our legging, once we get like I can't even remember the term. Basically, once we stop getting in this shitty situation, once we stop being in the shitty situation, then I will. Actually, he stops for a second. Yeah, when the time's right, I'll definitely. I want to. It's just at the moment, it's a little hard.
Okay. I'll hold you to that promise. And thank you. And then she'll kiss you on the cheek and run out of the room. Not too gracefully.
She runs into a door.
She'll kiss you on the cheek, attempt to run out of the room, trip over something, knock something your scroll and crowns on the floor, then kind of stand up awkwardly, and then leave the room as quickly as she can.
I was going to be angry at all of those things, stealing a kiss from me, not even receiving any. And then she stumbled, pratfalled, and I can't be angry at that.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
And scene. All right, the other scene I had would be for Xavier.
Okay.
And Isaac, kind of.
Okay.
Xavier, what would you be doing during the 24-hour period?
Well, he knows that he doesn't want to get in Hart's way. He'd probably, just out of professional curiosity, as Amston the Shark, kind of tour around the station. Obviously, he's not buying anything, but a drink here, a conversation there, that sort of thing. Nothing really major that we need to role play at all. Okay. But he's been kind of cooped up on the ship for quite some time. We're dealing with it, so he's going to be a bit of a social butterfly, I think. But from time to time, he would come back on the ship, of course, to get a status update on, what other people are doing, and for him to check the ship, make sure everything's okay, and of course, to sleep.
Okay. So At some point, you're walking down the station. We'll say you're walking down one of the marketplaces, which
Sure.
doesn't have much of interest. And you would know
Okay.
too, the open markets like this never sell the good stuff. This is
Sure.
more of the tourist area, the transgalactic souvenir area.
Gotcha.
But it does have some fairly advanced robotics and signs and things like that to
Okay.
look flashy.
All right.
And at some point, you come across a scene which involves Isaac. You are there. I'm obviously not going to tell you what you're doing, but you were. I'm assuming you're still helping Hart. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, then you would be there. Hart is tugging on a fairly medium-sized piece of technology from an elder gentleman who is saying, "Not my translator, no." And Hart's like, "I need this. I need this.
All
I
right.
need it."
All right. Time to interfere. Xavier to the rescue.
Yeah.
Xavier's
the way-
going to.
At this point, Isaac looks exhausted.
Yeah, he looks completely.
Xavier definitely to the rescue now. So he'll approach this little standoff that's happening. He goes, whoa. Hold up a minute. I'm sure we can figure something out here, folks. No need to fight and pull. Why don't you explain to me what the situation is?
The older gentleman stops tugging. Hart, however, is still like sliding her feet on the ground, saying, "Boss, I need this. I need this for the contraption."
Just okay. Just I heard your thing. Maybe if you can stop tugging on this gentleman, we can give him a chance as to why he needs this so bad. Go ahead, my good man.
And he looks at you, looks at Hart, who's still like lightly tugging on it.
Okay, Hart, you have to stop. Stop
But,
tugging.
boss,
Just
she
don't
looks
worry.
exhausted too. Like she's almost in a trance. She's like, "But boss, I need this."
Okay, just all right. Just don't mind her. I'll ensure that she's not going to run off with it. All right. So what? Explain to me what the situation is, sir.
He looks at you, looks at Hart, and he goes, "The situation is, it's mine." This
Okay.
brat comes up and just starts
Mhm.
taking whatever she wants and
Uh-huh.
walking away saying, "Oh, I need this."
You are absolutely right, sir. If that happened to me, I wouldn't be just frustrated. I would be infuriated. In fact, I respect your composure. And I understand this is yours, and no one has any sort of right to just yank it out of your hands. How much is this worth to you?
What?
Well, how much is it worth to you? Obviously, we want to properly compensate you for your frustration, compensate you for your confusion, and of course, compensate you for this piece of technological device. So I'm just wondering, how much is it worth to you? Name a price.
Wh- wh- Uh, and he kind of stutters for a bit. And Hart, who seems to have a moment of lucidity, says, "Okay, very good point. But in light of my side of things, boss, I need this." And she starts like tugging on it again.
Okay, please stop tugging, Hart. I understand you're working really hard, but you're not helping this situation, okay? Please, trust me. I can handle this, and before you know it, you will have that in your hands, okay? But first, we have to approach this man like a respectful being of the galaxy. You know, a little bit of respect goes a long way. Isn't that right, sir?
Well, I should dare say.
Exactly, precisely. So I'm speaking to you as man to man. How much is that worth to you? Name a price, any price at all.
I, 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 I don't think it's for sale. It's the only
Oh,
one
everything
I
is
have.
for sale if you name the right price, sure. But name a price. Just humor me, even if it seems outlandish.
Um, and he kind of stutters for a bit. I mean, it's a family heirloom,
Okay, all right. We'll factor that in.
I mean, I couldn't even imagine parting with this for anything less than 1,000 credits at least.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, sir. And Xavier will give. Even he still has Amston the Shark's guys on, right? But Amston can smile if he really wants to. And he gives him a genuine smile. He goes, I deeply respect family. I deeply respect treasures, and I understand what sacrifice it is. So how about I give you a cred ship for 5,000 credits?
Wh- wh- Well, why didn't you just say so?
I know. Well, I didn't want to make sure I wanted to make sure everything was just fine. So here, tell you what, and Xavier's going to call up his holographic computer and he's going to show that he's transferring 5,000 credits onto a credit chip, which he's going to plug into the port to the computer. He'll demonstrate to the man the money going right into that credit chip. He'll pull it out. He'll hand them over and he'll say, there you go. You can let go of that old piece of junk and use your hands to grip onto this cred chip instead.
Well, okay then. See, young lady, this is how you respect your elders. He says,
Precisely.
like, shaking a finger at her,
Mm-hmm.
and
Wonderful.
he takes the cred chip, and Heart eyes get kind of big, and she says, I'm just trying to help. You told me to build it in 24 hours, and you have no idea how hard it is to find parts, and he hasn't. I
And
need it.
I'm gonna like put my arm around her and turn her around and start walking. Goes, I know, Heart, and I appreciate it. I'm not saying you did anything wrong. It's just, here's the poor fact of life. You know what runs the universe? It's not matter. It's not gravitational pulls. It's not um, binary codes or any of that scientific mumbo jumbo. What runs the universe is cold, hard cash. And everyone has their price. Luckily for him, his price was in our budget. And we managed to prevent a scene and we managed to get what you wanted. So I took care of the rest of it. You just focus on making the device. And if you need any other supplies, I've been just coursing around this market myself, keeping my eye out. Radio me. Let me know, and maybe I can help you out and just get them for you, okay?
She nods and
All
she
right.
scrubs her face and she says, but boss, the galaxy runs on gravity. It's what makes the
Sure.
stars collapse, and then when they explode, they form
Okay.
new stars. And she's like keeps going and
And
forming planets.
Xavier is like smiling and nodding as he walking with her to the ship, all reassuring because she is sacrificing a lot of her sleep. But inside his mind, it's like I don't know what this mumbo jumbo is.
What is poor Isaac doing during all this?
He is slowly following them with his mouth open, trying to just stay awake and
Okay,
breathe.
I'm leading
And
a
he
couple
is
zombies.
drooling.
Yeah, because Hart and Isaac, Isaac's been practicing telemechanics, and Hart's been almost constantly telemechanicking for, at this point, it'd be about
Isaac is
13
brain
to
dead.
14 hours.
He's brain
Yeah.
dead, essentially.
Yeah.
Constantly telemechanicking. I love that.
Yep.
He made up a word.
I did.
Okay.
But suffice to say, about an hour or so before you're supposed to meet at bar number 4, Isaac, if you don't mind me taking a little bit of liberty,
Do it.
Isaac will be handing
give me
Xavier,
liberty or give me death.
Isaac will be handing Xavier the finished device with an unconscious snoring Heart flung over his shoulder.
Yes.
And Xavier will just take the device and he'll say, I don't need her. Take her to a room.
Isaac barely registers a response, but kind of grunts and then starts slowly walking to her room.
And Isaac,
Mm-hmm.
does telemechanics has a percentage roll, right?
Oh, jeez.
I know, right? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Give me 10 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't mind. 1, 2, 5. Sonic's skill knowledge is equal to 88% skill efficiency and applies to all aspects of the machine, its operation, repair, and special codes, etc.
Good. Roll me a skill check. Get under 80.
Okay. Under 80 or 88?
88. Sorry. 80 plus.
He
8.
gets an 89.
Okay.
I succeed.
You know how to operate the device. You don't have a faintest clue how it works per se, but you could use it perfectly.
I can
Kinda
press
like-
the button. I can
Yeah,
press.
it's like the guy who doesn't know how his computer works, but he knows how to operate it just fine.
That's
All right.
me. I have no idea. I know it is made up of RAM and hard drives and shit, but I don't know the intricacies and a motherboard.
Right. That's a good example. But you could
Software
teach
guy.
someone else to operate it, like the thief that you're looking to meet, etc.
Okay.
So, with that said, I know it's a little bit early, but do you guys
okay.
mind if we stop the session here because this is a really good place to stop before you go meet your friends?
Sure, I don't mind.
Sure.
Frankly, my legs have been hurting me. I had one hell of a crazy stressful day, so I wouldn't mind the extra hour before I have to go to sleep to just
Yeah, that's
veg
cool.
out.
All right.
Can I take one liberty?
But
many
you must
liberty.
also take one death.
Okay. What if I
Uh-oh.
choose cake before death?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. So, Isaac will put Hard in her bed and then proceed to pass out on her floor. In case that happens to matter.
Just letting you know, you've got an hour before the meeting, but you can still sleep for 45 minutes or so.
That's fine.
So, yes. Okay. That is perfectly acceptable. And
Then-
we'll go ahead and end the session there.
Thank you guys for
Hooray.
watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.